Do you know why I called you here today?
So something about an interview.
I came across this meme and I thought it was really interesting, and I was like, I could definitely give a female's perspective on this, but I'm curious as to what age group has to say about it, right? So the question is, why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men? Why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men?
I'd say that's not true.
Okay.
Let me elaborate.
Yeah. Why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men? Why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men?
You're my daughter, and I taught you how to treat men.
Okay, we're talking about, you specifically taught me, but if we had to talk about the demographics of women as a whole.
Because I don't have to do anything. In simple terms, men have to work to get a woman. Women don't have to work to get a man. Even though we live in a world where ideally everyone's equal, you know. Women can do anything a man can do, and man can do anything women can do. You know, realistically, if a man wants to get a woman, he has to do certain things and portray himself. In a woman, if they look good enough, they don't have to do anything but sit there.
Okay, so women are taught the art of maintenance and self-maintenance, and men are taught the art of procurance. So how do you get the things that you want in your life? It's the lesson that men learn, and that's why we're taught how to treat women, because this is how you get women, not how you treat them. You know, it's how you get and how you keep. Women's, their whole everything is built around the idea of how do you maintain. So
there's a lot of single women with the children. It appears that there's a lot of conflict with the male and female dynamics in terms of relationship. So I could see young girls not really getting, you know, the lowdown on a man because their mothers don't really know themselves. And again, I said, I taught you because I'm your father. So if there's not many fathers in the home, then typically there won't be, so, you know, they won't be instructed.
I think in a fluid, healthy household, both things are being taught. But if we're talking societally, I think in society, there's a lot of agendas being pushed, like hyper female agendas being pushed, the demasculization. Yeah, the emasculization agenda is being pushed. Based on the social lens, it would appear that women don't really get taught how to treat men, which is why we see things like women going off and, you know, hitting men and, you know, cussing them out in the street.
You could say, someone taught me to drive a car. And I go, okay, then you go out and you wreck and you hit every car going down the street. I say, no, you never learned how to drive a car. You follow me?
Okay.
Someone may have given you information, but it wasn't the correct information. You follow me? And that's what I'm talking about. There's a conversation, you know, and there's what people believe is true, and then there's the truth.
Okay. So women are taught basically how to take care of themselves with the hopes of, like, you're doing these things to eventually get a guy. Right.
No, not to get a guy. That a guy that you want will want you.
Women have to do less in order to maintain a man than a man has to do in order to maintain a woman.
Women are not taught how to be emotionally available for men, how to communicate with men, how to be patient with men. These are things that women will do after they have the man. They have the man. But the man has to initiate. He has to prove his worth. He has to meet all her standards for her to even think that she would want to be with him in the first place.
Even if you're like the most attractive guy on the planet and she falls for you just for your looks, that's only gonna last so long. She's not gonna put up with you not going to work, not doing anything. And maybe she'll for like a month. It's like, oh, I got this nice looking dude, but it's just not gonna work.
But because of how things are shaping out now, women, I feel, are becoming a little bit more masculine to their own detriment. To now where we're even having discussions like a right for a right. Like, if you punch me, I'm punching you back. I don't think that's right.
Things have changed. But men typically, at least growing up, was like, open a door for a woman, buy her flowers, pay for the first date, meet her father, which does not happen that as often as it should, I will say.
Is that because men aren't trying to meet fathers, or they just don't have fathers to meet? That's all I'm saying.
Can you think of at least one thing that women are taught?
No.
Sex from a woman used to be really, really, like, powerful thing to keep men invested in. But now, y'all be giving away like scratcher tickets, so I don't know.
So you're saying that women are taught how to treat men by basically having good head.
Yeah. You know how many times dudes have been wrapped with the girl they can't stand because the head's fire? I can count 3 of them right now.
No, I can think of a lot, actually, that are negative. But I can't think of any positive ones.
Like what?
Don't trust men. Don't drink around men. Red flags in men. So all the lessons that women have about men before relationships are all negative.
Back in the day, cook, clean. At least that.
Cook, clean, shut up. Put bluntly. Look, I'm not here for the views and the likes. I'm here to give you an honest perspective. That is the guaranteed 3 things that mothers will tell their daughter. If your man is being out of pocket, check him. But sometimes you really don't have to say anything. So if he's sleeping and you're sleeping, don't wake him up and ask him if he loved you if you were a worm. He doesn't want to hear that. Sometimes, just shut up.
How do you think women should be raised to treat men?
If we're going to be like a really generalistic standard, if you want a man who's going out and working 12-hour shifts, doing it and buying you all this food, or buying you all this stuff, you better know how to cook really well, you better know how to clean, and you better, like, I don't know, the head better be crazy, have his eyes rolling back or something. And on the other vein, if you want a man who sits at home and looks nice all the time, you better be really good at having 2 jobs.
He doesn't want to talk about it. A wise woman say, "Oh, okay, honey, is there anything I could do for you?" Nah, I just don't feel like talking about it. Oh, that's great. He might come back and talk about it later. But you don't have to say, well, what's going on? Or why, and just keep pressing and pressing, because you work things out by talking. He needs to kind of process.
So basically, shut up.
So, yeah, that's probably the best lesson I could say for many women is just be quiet. A lot of times, men, we're going through, particularly so-called African-American men, if what they say is true, we have the entire world on our shoulders, and we have issues with our women because we conflict and we can't stay together, we can't stay married. So we got a lot of stuff going on socially. And so sometimes it's just try to figure out, how do you bring peace to someone?
Okay.
How do you bring calm to someone? You'd be surprised with men. When we feel good about ourselves and we feel good about what we're doing and we know you got our back, we tend to be more open. We tend to be, we'll start to open up to you, but if you're a burden just like everybody else, that's a lot of trauma and that's a lot of stress.
How do you think women should be raised to treat men, and how will you instill that if you have daughters, in terms of how she should go about treating men?
Sure.
Yeah.
I would imagine that if I had a child, that I would want them to have the best life they can have, right? So I wouldn't have my daughter marry some skeezer, right? I would want her to be with like a really good man. Then I understand that with a really good man, there comes responsibilities, there comes a lot of pressures, there comes a lot of stressors in life, and she should not be one of those. Being independent is great. I think a woman should totally be independent. But I think at the moment that that woman decides that she wants to marry that man, independence goes out the window. Same for a man. A man who wants to play video games and drink with his boys all the time. The moment you marry that lady, that go out the window too.
If there was a lesson that I think women should be taught on how to treat men, it's that they do not deserve anything. If you accept the reality that nobody in this world cares about you, that you will get nothing in this world for free, guess what you will start doing? You will start socializing. You will start communicating. You will start working harder on the things that matter in your life, especially when it comes to men and that interpersonal relationship. You won't wait for him to text first. You'll text first. Because the idea of, well, he should text me first, it goes out straight out the window. And if you cannot find it in yourself to be supportive naturally, just reach out and want to be that better person for the person that you allegedly care for, then guess what? Yo behind don't deserve a man. Oh, I said it. I did it. I said it. If you can't work for your relationship, you don't. Ooh. There's going to be a lot of single heifers after watching this video, I'll tell you that. A lot of better hang the room in Portia. Get out in them fields, okay? And you work hard. I'm not breaking eye contact. You hear me talking to you.
Yeah.
So